Now let us design one more Java program where we shall use different swing controls. Now first of all, let us discuss about the controls that we have used. Here in this example we have taken three JText fields: first JText field, second JText field, third JText field, three labels, one JPanel, and under this JPanel we have taken two jRadio buttons. Now the user inputs first number in the first JText field and the second number in the second JText field, and out of the given two jRadio buttons, user either selects sum, first jRadio button, or the difference, that is second jRadio button. Depending upon the selection of the user, whether he or she has selected sum option or the difference option, the result is displayed in the third JText field. So in this example we have not changed the names of default names of these controls. For example, the name of first JText field is JText field 1, then JText field 2, then JText field 3, and the name of the first jRadio button is jRadio button 1, jRadio button 2 for the second jRadio button, and so on. So now let us write the program for it. In the here we have to write the program. So first of all, let us declare two variables, num1 and num2, of data type float, or we also can take integers. In this example we are taking floats. Now for sum, to calculate sum of two numbers, we have two variables, sum. To calculate the sum of two numbers, we have a variable sum, and which has been initialized to 0, and one more variable, that is difference, or diff diff equals to 0. We have initialized these variables to 0. Now in the first variable, that is num1, we want to extract the value which has been input by the user in the first text field, that is JText field 1. So we can write it num1 equals to JText field 1 dot getText. Whatever has been input by the user in the first JText field, that will be extracted, but that value is a string. Now we want to convert that string into float. For that purpose we need to use the wrapper class, and the class that we shall be using is float dot, float is the wrapper class, and parse float method of the class that needs to be used here, and we shall write here float dot parse float, then JText field 1 dot getText. Okay. Now for the second variable, that is num2, we again have to use the wrapper class. Why we are using the wrapper class is that has been discussed in the previous video lessons. Parse float and JText field 2 dot getText. Okay, now num1 and num2 will be assigned the values which has been input by the user in the first and second text fields respectively. Okay, after extracting the values, now we have to check that which particular jRadio button has been selected by the user, and the operation is to be performed accordingly. So we have to write, if first radio button is selected, that is jRadio button 1 dot. How do we check it that the radio button has been selected or not? We have a method that we call isSelected method. If it is true, then what we have to do is we have to calculate the for first button we have put sum, so we have to calculate the sum. So to calculate sum, we shall write sum equals to num1 plus num2. Okay, and the calculated sum is to be displayed in the third text field, G text field 3 dot set text, and here we can write plus sum. Okay, else for the second radio button, else if in fact jRadio button 2 dot is selected. If it is true, then what we want to do is we want to check if num1 is greater than num2. If it is so, then the difference will be equal to num1 minus num2. Else difference will be DIFF equals to num2 2 minus num1. Okay, and finally the calculated difference is to be assigned to the third text field, set text DIFF. Okay, and now let us run this program and see what happens. Okay, now the first number we are inputting is suppose 100, and the second number we are inputting is 50, and if we opt for the first option, that is sum, that is we want to calculate the sum of first and second number, and if we click the show result option, it's showing us the 150.0 So as we have taken the float variables, data type of all the variables has been taken as float, so that's why it's showing 150.150.0. So if we click here on the difference option, so it should calculate us the difference between the first and the second number. So it is showing you 100 minus 50 equals to 50. Now suppose first number is 50 and second number is 100, and we click the sum option, so it's showing 150, and if we click the difference option, it's showing us 50. Okay, now for the exit option we can write the code accordingly. Event action performed, here we have to write system dot exit system dot exit 0. That is to close the application. Okay, now if we run the program again, we see that application is getting closed once the user clicks the exit option, exit button. Now look at this line. Here we assigned some text to the jText field 3, and within the parenthesis we've written double quotes plus sum. So instead of writing double quotes plus sum, what we can do is we can write here string dot value of and sum, value of sum. Actually, value of is a method of the class string which converts a numeric value into string. So that can be done in the same fashion. Here what we can do is we can write string dot value of, and we can write here the name of the variable which holds the numeric value. Okay, now if we run the program again, and first number is 70 and second number is 50, we want to calculate the sum. It's showing 120 and the difference is 20. So that's how we can use radio buttons along with other controls.